Hey folks, this is Bailey from Dank Wargaming, and today I'm going to be continuing our series on how to charge in the game Warhammer 40,000. Today we're going to be looking at the sort of subtle game of using your charge moves to not just get into combat, but to get yourself into a position to win the game and make your soldiers more efficient when fighting. Let's get to it. Alright folks, we're back on the tactical table here to show you how to use your charge moves to make your plays game-winning plays and to make your soldiers more efficient. Well, the first scenario we have here is going to involve using your charge moves to get yourself onto objectives you might not normally be able to get to. And I want to go over our participants. We have my Dark Angel Scouts over here, and then we also have some Blight Lord Terminators painted by my teammate Matt for his Death Guard army. Now, I would like to, in this situation, kill all of those Dark Angel Scouts because they are objective secure infantry on an objective. So even if I don't kill every single one of them, if one of them remains after a fight phase, then the Dark Angels player will score that objective and the Death Guard player will not. So if I'm the Death Guard player, I don't want that. I want them all to die and I want to hold that objective, but in order to win the game, I actually need to hold objective 2 as well. So what am I to do? Well, I'm going to take advantage of the charge move rolls. According to the rules of the charge phase, when you make a charge roll, the first model you move with a charge has to end up within an inch of an enemy model when you're done. But after that, as long as your units stay within unit cohesion, the rest of them can go anywhere they want on the board. This is up to the charge roll. So, if I make a charge roll here, oh, that was cocked, so let's re-roll it. So I got an 11 here. So I can move, the first model I move has to move 11 inches towards an enemy model. So you don't have to be the closest enemy model, it just has to be within an inch of an enemy model. So I move this guy, he's going to move, not even have to go all the way, but he's going to move right there. And then the next model is going to maintain unit coherency. I'm going to move this model up as well. And as you can see, since I don't technically have to move all of them to the exact same spot, I just have to keep them in unit coherence, you can see that I can now tail the rest of this squad all the way out to that second objective. So when I go into my fight phase, I have enough guys over here that I can pile in and consolidate into the Dark Angel squad and then pile and consolidate onto this objective. So if I get to the fight phase and I pile in towards the closest enemy model, get models within an inch of a model that is in combat, and I clear out all of these Dark Angel Scouts in the fight phase, I kill them all. Then on my consolidate move, I can move 3 inches towards close to enemy model, and hopefully there's an enemy model where I can simply just do this. And now my Blight Lord Terminators hold both objectives, whereas if I had just done the simple thing, which would be to charge the Blight Lord Terminators directly at the Scouts, I would have not been able to secure the second objective. Now for the second example, I've added a few more of Matt's wonderfully painted miniatures to this example. So we have the Chaos Lord over here, and we have the Plague Surgeon back over here. Now, what I'm interested in doing here is charging myself into unit buff abilities. So back here I have a Plague Surgeon that's giving me reroll 1s of my Disgustingly Resilient saves, which is good because that makes it harder for my guys to die in close combat. But what I really want is to boost my offensive output, and that's coming from my Chaos Lord over here. He gives my Death Guard units reroll of 1s to hit in the fight phase. But it is a 6-inch bubble, and right now he is outside of 6 inches of my Terminators. They are just not quite there. They're just out. So how do I fix this with my charge roll? Well, I declare my charge against the Scouts, do all the Overwatch, resolve all that, but I'm more interested in showing you how this move works. So I'm just going to go straight to the charge. Let's say nobody died. I got all that armor, and then on the Disgustingly Resilient saves with rerolls. So I'm going to be alright. I'm going to roll an 8. So the first model I move in a charge roll must always be within combat range or within an inch of an enemy model. So I'm going to take this boy here, and I'm going to move him right here. There's room for him to come through here. There's a gap here for him to end up in his charge right here. All Right? Don't think it always has to go towards the closest enemy model. It just has to get to within an inch of an enemy model. Now, with the rest of this squad with my 8-inch moves, I'm actually going to take this guy and I'm going to move him here, which then allows me to move this character right here, or this Terminator, within the 6-inch buff zone. In fact, I didn't even have to move him. I could have just kept that guy there, which is fine. We can pile and consolidate into the enemy and fix that problem. And then we're going to move the rest of the Terminators this way while still maintaining unit coherency. And we are actually going to get ourselves to where, once we get to the pylon in the fight phase, not only are we going to be able to access the 6-inch reroll discussant resilience tests bubble from the Plague Surgeon, but we're also going to be able to get the reroll once to hit in the fight phase, well, in any phase actually, but what I'm most concerned about now is the fight phase from this Chaos Lord. So this is how you get your Terminators into a more efficient state using the charge roll. In fact, it doesn't even have to be a Terminator, it could be anything, to be more efficient in the fight phase by using your charge roll to charge into your buffs that if you just charge straight ahead into your enemy, you would not have had normally. Alright folks, it's time for the bonus content. We've talked about charging into buffs, and we've talked about charging into objectives, but there's sort of another objective that you might want to consider when making your charge rolls, and it's not dealing with the little things on the board that help you win the game. It's the objective of, I don't want my things to die. So in this situation, we have the Blightlord Terminators here out in the open, and there's this big, scary Dark Talon for the Dark Angels over here that's planning on killing these Terminators in order to protect the scouts on the other side of this building here. The building is provided by Lasercraft Workshop. I did a paint video previously. It's one of their Sector 38 hab block houses. It's very nice, and it is going to be the safe haven that my Blightlord Terminators want to be in. So, they're not going to take any overwatch because of the line of sight blocking rules of first floors of buildings and ruins from the ITC. Thank you very much, ITC. And I want to charge these Terminators into these scouts, not because I want to kill the scouts, but because I want my Terminators to end their charge roll inside this building where they will not be targeted by the Dark Talon. So, I'm going to pick up my charge dice here. Roll. I roll a 5. Hopefully that will be enough. So remember, when we make a charge roll, you always have to end your charge within an inch of an enemy model. So you technically, I have like a 6. And looking at this, it looks like I should be able to pull this off. So I'm going to charge up to this wall. And remember that you can fight things that are within an inch of a wall, which I don't want to put the cover back on. I don't want to break into these little spiky bits on these guys. So we'll just get the idea that they're in this building and they're sealed off, hidden from the Dark Talon, and they will fight the scouts. They're not going to pile in onto the other side of the building, and if they kill all of them, they're definitely not going to consolidate out of the building into the open either. In this way, on my opponent's turn, when their Dark Talon goes to shoot, those Terminators will be safely hidden inside this building and will not die. Thank you, ITC, once again, and thank you, Lasercraft Workshop. So there you have it, folks. That is how you charge into buffs, objectives, and the bonus content terrain in order to get the most out of your charge rolls in the game of Warhammer 40,000. I'd like to thank you, Lasercraft Workshop, once again for providing this wonderful building. Nurgle's blessing is upon you for protecting his wonderful servants in today's video. If you want to know more about Lasercraft Workshop or Dankless Wargaming, please check the description below. If you like this content, please like, share, and comment below. Till next time, I'm Bailey, reminding you that if your lists start to tank, then it is time to get dank.